Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. And today, guys, more updates, more news. The World Cup is at the final stages. Spain to the final. France eliminated. Well, they have the third and fourth place final to do, but they're out of the real big game, the World Cup final. And then in the next hours, we will have England against Argentina. Let me know your predictions here in the comments. But let's jump into the transfer news together. I remind you the last video I published a few hours ago with all the latest on Manchester United and more, but I'm returning on that. Just quickly, from the World Cup news, because Didier Deschamps from next week will leave his job as French national team head coach. And if you follow me here on the channel, on YouTube, you know I've been telling you in November, in December, in January, in February, and during the whole year that Zinedine Zidane is going to be the next head coach of the French national team. Everything has been agreed a long time ago. When Zinedine Zidane received some calls from clubs in the last 6-7 months, the answer was always thank you, but I want to go to the French national team. Zidane has been fantastic in terms of respect for Didier Deschamps, without leaking anything. The French Federation also respected Didier Deschamps till the very end, but then Spain beat France, and now we have the verdict: Deschamps out from next week, and Zinedine Zidane is coming. Talking about who is coming, guys, Premier League, two news on two clubs who are investing on centre-backs, because one of the exclusive stories of the weekend is now becoming reality. Tarik Muaremovic, Bosnian defender from Sassuolo, one of the most talented defenders in Serie A, is leaving Italy and moving to the Premier League. Deal done with Leeds United, 40 million euros, a big transfer fee, a big investment by Leeds United, trusting this left-footed centre-back. And for Muaremovic, 50% of the deal goes to Sassuolo, 20 million euros, 20 go to Juventus. Juve had a 50% sell-on clause, and so they also make money from the Muaremovic deal. Another centre-back who is expected to move to the Premier League is Antonio Silva. In this case, we have to be a little bit more patient. Nothing will be closed this week from what I'm hearing, but there is already a pact, a verbal agreement for Antonio Silva to go to Bournemouth. From the next weeks, at the end of July. The verbal agreement is almost done, just waiting on some final details, and then Antonio Silva expected to become a new centre-back for Bournemouth. We know how good they are at finding opportunities. Antonio Silva has 1 year left on his contract at Benfica, so a big opportunity. He's been considered one of the most talented defenders in Europe for some time. Then he didn't have a good season, the last one, and this is why the price dropped a little bit. Top clubs maybe left the conversation, and now Bournemouth ready to jump into it. So Muaremovic, Leeds United, and Bournemouth ready to close for Antonio Silva as soon as possible. Talking about defenders, guys, and talking about Premier League, we need to take a minute to talk about Cuti Romero, Cristian Romero, the centre-back from Tottenham Hotspur. I've been telling you for some time that the expectation was for Cuti Romero to leave Tottenham in the summer transfer window. Now, the news I can give you is that Tottenham and Cuti Romero's camp, in direct communication this week, confirmed to each other that they want to part ways. So Romero wants to try something different, and also Tottenham are ready to let Romero go, to move on and to try something different. Credits to Tottenham because they already invested, so they are not going to enter the market when the whole people know that they are letting Romero go. They signed Van Eschke, they signed Marco Senesi, Van de Ven is absolutely untouchable. All the stories on Van de Ven to Liverpool, Van de Ven to Barcelona, fake news. Van de Ven is staying and is a crucial player for the Zerbi, so it's very clear that Cuti Romero is going to leave Tottenham. During the last 2-3 days, Inter and Tottenham had a few conversations. Why? Because Inter were signing a new right wing back. Dumfries went to Real Madrid. Inter wanted Palestra went to Chelsea. Inter wanted Halaili from Union Saint-Gilloise. Halaili didn't pass the medical. And now Inter are trying to ask about Jet Spence. During these conversations, Tottenham told Inter, Cuti Romero will leave the club this summer. In case you're interested, Inter are considering a move for Cuti Romero. They like the player, they love the player, and they need 2 centre-backs this summer. So Inter are keen on Cuti Romero, but on this deal, it's important to mention that the cost of the deal is quite complicated. In terms of transfer fee and in terms of salary, Romero is on a big salary. This is why the deal is not easy. But Inter have asked for information on the deal, and let's see what's going to happen after the World Cup. And then, important to mention, on Romero, don't forget Barcelona. Because Barcelona are keeping close eye to the Romero situation. At the moment, the priority for Barça is the striker position, so Julián Alvarez or another striker if Julián can join. But Julián Alvarez remains the top priority. The centre-back is something they could do this summer, in case, that's an important point, a centre-back leaves Barcelona. So the idea for Barça, Cuti Romero is a name to keep there. Then, talking about ideas, talking about names, let's spend one more minute on Manchester United. I told you in the last video, Man United are not done. I told you yesterday, I'm telling you today, and I'm telling you in this new video. Man United want to sign a new midfielder. Man United want to go for a new defensive midfielder, a player who can run, can bring also fresh legs in midfield. I told you that Man United have reached out in an exclusive update in the last video for Manu Koné, the French midfielder from Roma. They spoke only on player side at the moment, not bid to Roma yet, but they are talking to the player side. I'm told, and I told you in the last video, Man United are considering few options before deciding who is the player they want. Another option, in this case only mentioned internally in the meetings, has been also Eduardo Camavinga. So, Camavinga, Manu Koné, that kind of player. Defensive midfielder who can run, who can help with intensity, also physical. So this is what Man United are looking for. On Camavinga, Real Madrid don't want... Eduardo Camavinga doesn't want to leave Real Madrid this summer. Camavinga wants to stay, Camavinga wants to continue the club, Camavinga wants to be an important part of Real Madrid project next season. So the Camavinga story could only be possible if the player decides to go. But at the moment, Camavinga wants to stay at Real Madrid. So this is why the deal for Camavinga is complicated. But Camavinga, Koné, this kind of internal discussions, this kind of calls, because for Manu Koné there was a call with the agent of the player, are helping you to understand which kind of player Manchester United are looking for. So Andrei Santos, but also Yuri Tielemans, and then a player who can defend and can do that kind of dirty job in midfield. So that's also very, very important. And then guys, gonna answer some of your questions on a story I was breaking here a few days ago, I think it was last week, Mo Salah. For Mo Salah, don't underestimate MLS. No one spoke about Salah and MLS till a few weeks ago, and I told you, Mo Salah has for sure two possibilities. One is to go to the MLS, the other one is to go to Saudi. Well, from the MLS there is a concrete interest in Mo Salah. So it's a serious possibility to see the Egyptian king, after leaving Liverpool on a free, moving to the MLS. So keep an eye on that one. From Saudi, obviously, financially, they are offering a big package. So the interest in Mo Salah from Saudi is, I would say, historical. Long time ago, they started trying and negotiating for Salah. Liverpool never wanted to let him go. Now he's available on a free. And so Saudi, MLS, Mo Salah is now on holiday, well deserved after a long season with Liverpool, of course. Then he went for the AFCON as well, don't forget that. Then the World Cup, so it's been a difficult season in terms of so many games for Mo Salah, also emotional at the end to say goodbye to Liverpool. Now Mo Salah will assess all the options with his agent Rami Abbas and decide what's the best possibility for his future. On this